Hey Justin, how you doing? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. For this magazine, I wanted to use the page name. I was reading through this. I think everything makes good sense. Um, excuse me. Now, I just kind of want to remind you something. In graphic design, we are in our quest is perfection. Okay, so we're after perfection. So um, you have some comments here to say I had some issues and this wasn't perfect, masking wasn't perfect. Remember, we are shooting for perfection. So you want the best quality images. You want the most refined and accurate mask as possible. And that's your goal. So let's shoot for that goal, okay? All right, Justin, let's go ahead and take a look at the composition itself. I think it's a good start. I really do. It's a pretty interesting ad. I think it's really accessible. It's done well. I think it's done well. But we can improve it without question. No doubt we can improve it. So let's take a look at how we can improve it. Okay. Now you've got the correct typefaces. That's great. You've got the masked image. That's great. So all components here are correct. You're in CMYK. That's fantastic. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some ways that we can improve this. Now we have take a break as your headline. Okay, I would recommend left aligning that over here because this alignment's off. So let's take a break. Then the subhead is actually, the type is bigger than the headline. So to preserve hierarchy, we want to reduce the size of the subhead and bring that to one line. So all left align. This would say take a break and then a chance to rest and relax. But this type would be much smaller than that type. All right. Then we come down here, and this is some inconsistency right here. I think what we could do here is you can keep this in the larger text, but let's reduce these type boxes. Let's reduce them. Okay, now something like this. I think right now they're just a little too wide. Let's move that down. So, okay, do you see what I'm getting at? Okay, and I think these are maybe even still a little bit too wide. Something like that. Maybe get some separation in there and then bring those over a little bit. Okay, so then this type you can close down that spacing between the lines, and this will act like a segue to introduce the body copy. Also, you could consider placing this type in that purple color. We can actually come down here. Let me show you what I mean. So let's sample that color from that logo right there. And as you can see now, that type is set in purple. Let's go ahead and set that in purple as well. Sample some color from there. And that's looking good. Now we can take that, left align it. Let's take this, reduce the type size. And that's looking good, looking good. Okay, see what I'm getting at? Okay, we're looking really good here. The logo is really crammed into the corner right there. So if that's going to get severed, if that crop isn't perfect. So my recommendation is to move the logo away from the edge of the page a little bit. And then this type is problematic because it's placed over that masked image. And I'm not sure that's the best choice for your masked image. And the reason I say that is because there are areas of the background shown through that. If we can, let me see. Let me go to layers. And let's see if I can, let me see. Okay, we'll turn this image off. And you can see little pieces of the original background. Let me see something here. Yeah, actually, that's looking actually, yeah, there are bits of the original background, as we can see right there. So you've got parts of that original background, and we don't want that. Okay, so let me just get back out. You might consider a different masked image. This is pretty complex. It's kind of interfering. You can't read the type over this image. You'll never be able to retype over that image unless it's white, in which case we can try white. Let's go ahead and try white. Actually, that works. Yep, that works. So, but the problem with there's still an inherent problem with the image, and it's actually. Oh, by the way, you want to make sure that that is aligned right there. So those are all in alignment. Again, we get that nice right left margin aligned. But this masked image is severed right there, and we can clearly see it. It's just a straight line right there. We got this wonderful organic selection here, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's just cropped right there. That is a little bit of a problem. I would recommend maybe changing the background image a little bit. Okay, so those are my recommendations. It's a great start. Really good job. You're paying attention. Everything here is executed beautifully. So really fantastic job. I'm very, very, very impressed that you're really adhering to the project requirements. So excellent job. Okay, so those are my recommendations. I'd like to see those recommendations reflected in your final submission, which is coming up due here in week 7. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And if you would like to make some changes and then show this to me before you resubmit, that's great. I'll be glad to take a look at it. Okay, great job. Thank you very much.